Institutions are very much under attack, and the institutions are very much undermined, very much penetrated. When I joined the United Nations back in 1980, it was a different world. We were a small team, and I worked together with Justice Jacob Muller of Iceland, and for 16 years he was my Socratic mentor, and I learned a lot from Jacob. And we were enthusiastic about the task. The Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights has become, unfortunately, an industry. We're paper pushers, and we are cut and paste artists. We rely on old resolutions and old ideas, and there's not a single constructive and peacemaking strategy to keep us afloat. And that is no surprise that the United Nations and the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights and the International Court of Justice and the International Criminal Court have lost so much of their authority and of their credibility. Now, Jacob Muller and myself, we published a book back in 2009 called United Nations Human Rights Committee Case Law, the jurisprudence of this expert committee to which I dedicated more than 2 decades of my life, in which we produced really excellent jurisprudence to defend human dignity. And the Human Rights Committee and also our book was very much dedicated to defending the right to life, defending the right to disarmament, defending the right to our identities, to our human dignity. And today, the office and many non-governmental organizations are pushing what I would call business-friendly human rights. So there's very little emphasis on the right to education, on the right to education for peace, on the right to health and the right to clean water and sanitation. And the emphasis is on the right to property and the right, I would say even the right to be intransigent. And that is what we see in the case of Ukraine. The position taken by Jens Stoltenberg and NATO has been a hyper-intransigent position. We are obligated, all 193 states, members of the United Nations, are obligated to seek peaceful resolution of disputes. That means sitting down, having dialogue, putting forward a proposal for a modus vivendi, and not refusing to negotiate. But I am very concerned about academia going along and repeating these propaganda words that have been put out by the Pentagon and by Washington. I reject that philosophy according to which we, the West, we Americans, by definition, are the good guys, and the rest of the world are the bad guys, and that we have a mission to bring democracy and human rights to the rest of the world. I mean, that is so preposterous, so arrogant, so ridiculous, that it's no surprise that the global majority in Latin America, Africa, and India are laughing at us.
Alfred Maurice de Zayas is a former UN independent expert on the promotion of a democratic and equitable international order, 2012-18, senior lawyer with the UN Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, Secretary of the UN Human Rights Committee, and Chief of the Petitions Department. Zayas grew up in Chicago, studied history and law, holds a J.D. from Harvard Law School and a doctorate in philosophy and modern history from the University of Göttingen. He was a Fulbright Graduate Fellow in Germany, retired member of the New York and Florida Bar, author of 9 books and more than 200 scholarly articles, president of PEN International, Centre Suisse Romande 2006-9 and again 2013-17. He is a winner of a 2022 International Book Award for his book, Building a Just World Order, in the category of law.